California. This, of course, is the home of the vast majority of the students affected by the abrupt closure of Corinthian colleges, as well as the vast majority of the potential beneficiaries of the expedited process that the department has set up for certain field students. In many ways, California is ground zero for some of the issues that we're here to talk about today. So I want to share an aspect of that that's harder probably for you to see from DC. Okay. That aspect is that many of the harmed Corinthian students are currently unable to get relief because they need help, and legal services providers in the state are tapped out. Legal aid groups across the state have long waiting lists for former Corinthian students seeking help, and many are just turning students away without even putting them on a waiting list. Some of the providers are doing what they can to help Corinthian students, but that means that all of their other clients, like those facing evictions, are just being put on the back seat. So I want to start by sharing that because I think it underscores the importance of making the process and the rules for borrowers as simple and straightforward as possible. It also underscores the need for the department to do whatever it can now, under current regulations, to improve access to relief for the students who have already been harmed, in addition to developing improved regulations. Borrowers can't and shouldn't have to wait to receive the relief they're already entitled to under the law. So one of the two most meaningful steps the department can take to ensure meaningful access to relief is to make all federal loans eligible for discharge under current and proposed regulations. The request for comment, to which we're all here responding, will refer to only direct loans, but all federal loans are eligible for relief. As we detail in our written comments, which we'll be submitting later today, the department has previously and repeatedly made clear that both DL and FEL borrowers have borrower defenses. So denying borrowers relief from FEL loans would have a devastating effect and deny students relief they're entitled to. More than 90% of the federal loans disbursed to healed students in 2009-10 were FEL loans. The second of the two most meaningful steps the department can take is to provide automatic group discharges to students where the department has access to documented evidence of fraudulent or relevant illegal acts. Department rules already provide for automatic group discharges to certain borrowers without individual applications. Since 1999, federal rules have allowed for closed school discharges without a borrower needing to apply for them, and for false certification discharges without an application since 2000. In explaining the extension of this provision to false certification discharges, the department stated in the Federal Register on August 3, 1989, "We, or a guarantee agency, occasionally learn of information that strongly suggests that all borrowers in a certain category would likely qualify for a false certification discharge. For example, we might determine that all students at a specific school during a certain time period had incorrect ATB determinations. In the interest of assisting those borrowers, many of whom may be unaware of the possibility of receiving a loan discharge, the committee decided that it would be appropriate to discharge those loans without an individual discharge request from each borrower." So the rationale provided by the department for changing the false certification rules and the closed school rules before it is the same one that we provide for borrower defenses. When the department has documentation that a group of students has been affected by unlawful school practices, those affected students, many of whom, as the department states, may be unaware of the possibility of receiving a loan discharge, be able to receive relief without needing to apply for it. Importantly, discharge eligibility under both false certification and closed schools rules can be and is established for groups of students at a time already. Later today, as I mentioned, we'll be submitting much more detailed comments on these issues as well as several others. Among the most critical of the others is to add to this rulemaking updating the current outdated false certification rules, which complement the DTR regs. We urge the department to curb the manipulation of cohort default rates and 90-10 rates, and to prohibit mandatory arbitration clauses and class action bans from enrollment agreements. Also, while we strongly agree with the department's goal of strengthening accountability for schools that defraud students, it's crucial that such accountability provisions not be designed to pit students and schools against each other, the result of which would be to effectively ensure that students' defenses to repayment are unsuccessful. Once it's clear to the department that borrowers have been defrauded, the relief to which they're entitled should not be subject to or have to wait for the legal maneuverings of unscrupulous schools